The next authoring tool that I'd like to explore is a tool that is offered by Symbaloo. This is not to be confused with the bookmarking tool that Symbaloo offers, where you can include icons to go along with whatever web links to apps or articles or videos that you would want to share out. SymbalooEDU offers a couple of unique things. First of all, they offer a full certification process for educators. There's a pro version, so this is freemium, but it's not required. SymbalooEDU also offers the ability to share out all of your resources with your students, but the authoring tool component that I want to explore today is the ability to create lesson plans using the Symbaloo interface, but instead of using the blocks as a series of links, using it as a game board. The basic features of a Symbaloo lesson plan include a gaming-style virtual lesson where you set up a game board, and the game board includes a path that the students follow. And on that path, you can include all sorts of educational resources. So you can include videos or articles, links to other resources. You can embed Quizlet games or Google Forms or, well, any embeddable content, as well as include interactive questions that a student needs to answer before they can progress forward in the lesson. And if they don't include a correct answer for those questions, you can interactively include a feedback loop for the students so that they can go back and learn that material before they progress going forward. Each time a student completes an activity on the lesson plan, it automatically moves their little marker one step further. In addition to creating the lesson plan, you can set up components that allow students to learn at their own pace. So that's the second feature. There's a progress bar that helps students track where they're at. They can see what sorts of activities they need to include. So, for example, if they get to a question and they don't answer that question correctly, you can include additional resources for them so that they have mastered the material before they get to the end of their lesson plan path, or as it looks, the end of their game path. As far as on the backside for teachers go, there are real-time statistics. So when a student logs into your lesson plan, you can see which steps along the way they have completed, and you can see where their pegs are, so you can see if students are on the same step or not. You can see how much time is spent in each of the activities, and if you include questions, you can also see answer scores for those questions. Finally, in the lesson plans marketplace, you can also search for lesson plans that were published by other articles. And so you can pull up lesson plans on, there's a wide variety of topics that are already posted and available, as well as PD lesson plans that I found to be pretty effective. Finally, even in the free version of Symbaloo lesson plans, you can include a PIN number that limits your lesson plans just to students who are in your classroom. So you can control who the participants for your lesson are. And in addition to that, you can set deadlines for your lessons, so they have to be completed within a certain amount of time. Finally, as far as creating lesson plans go, Symbaloo has created both a simple little tutorial that'll walk you through your first lesson plan, and in addition, they have included a series of help videos and help files, as well as a blog that will guide educators through creating their first lesson plans. So now that we've taken a quick walk through SymbalooEDU, we're going to go through the demo, create a lesson plan, so you can see what creating a lesson plan actually looks like. Obviously, if we were creating our own, we would log in. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go start a plan. And from here, you can see that there's a series of little getting started lesson plan manuals, how to use them, how to create a lesson plan, and how to search for your own. So let's go to create a lesson plan. And we're going to enter a name for this lesson plan. Okay, so training PD, and start with that new lesson plan. And then you can see that right off the bat, there are tiles that are already available that you can insert. You can also search your own Symbaloo web mixes to find articles that you have created. And you can also create your own web source. So we're going to go ahead and create our own web source. And then out here, you'll see that when you edit a title, you can set the title, you can set the description, you can include a resource, and you can include a question. So I'm going to go ahead and type these in. We'll start off with Google PD. Under the description, we'll create a description here. All right. And then the next thing to do would be to include a resource. And so with the resource, you can choose what sort of resource you want to include. You can, again, search for resources. You can include a tile. You could include a drawing. You could embed a resource from somewhere else. You could upload a file, or you can include a math formula. So here we go. And you can see that I finished my search with Google Training for Educators, and up came the Google Training Center video. And if it didn't appear, I could actually get a little bit of help with that. And then from here, I might ask a question of my students. You can see that the type of question allows you to either gather thoughts and insights from your students with an open answer question, or you can ask more of a formative sort of question, a multiple choice type question where a student can get quick feedback based on what you ask them. Okay, and you can see here, this is what a scale type question looks like. So again, we have multiple choice, multiple choice, open answers, scale, and date type questions. In addition, there are timed questions and math questions as well. I asked a scale question on a scale of 1 to 5. How likely are you to visit the Google Training Center to pursue your certification? Not likely, absolutely likely. And then you just hit the save button. And then when you hit the save button, you will see that in Google PD, this is the first step in our PEG that has been created. And then from here, I can just start to create my path as I go. I can also change the grid size. I can add different themes to the background so there are different looks to it. I can tag the category, and I can also include overall settings for my lesson. So the duration, what my objectives are, what the description is, so that when students first open up your lesson plan, they get all of the information that they should have so that they can understand what is expected of them and how to move smoothly through the lesson. Once you have started creating your tiles, you can see you can add your second tile, and then you can just go ahead and go all the way through them. The one piece of advice that I would have for people as they create the tiles is to have your lesson plan steps sketched out in advance, and in addition to that, have your routes sketched out in advance as well. Because when you start charting your path, it's not necessarily easy to go back and change your path or change your route once you've already started constructing it. You can insert a spot in between two spots that are already there, but if you've kind of got yourself backed up against a wall, it does get a little bit trickier as you go. Once you get all the way through to the end, you can play your tile to take a look at it, preview it. You can assign it and start tracking, and you can also take a look at the results. So if we take a look at the preview, this is what this would look like for the student learners. You could see that we start off with the student's peg. There's the progress up there. And when you click on that peg, if you click on the start button as well, it gives us the title of that step, tells us what the instructions are for that step, provides the video, and then gives you the feedback piece at the bottom, and allows you to check your answers. Obviously, with the one drawback here is that with a scale response, there is no right or wrong answer, and they're all right when you answer a scale type question. So there you go. There's a brief overview of how to use Symbaloo, how the features work, how this can function as an effective training tool so that learners can progress from step to step using all sorts of web resources, answering questions, and learning more about the tool. On this slide in our authoring tools overview, you will find this video, and you will also find a sample lesson plan so that you can see one that is fleshed out with many different types of resources available and a full lesson plan available. Thanks for watching.